When I was 15, I was friends with someone that could only be described as a bad influence. He was a good dude, but honestly, to keep it a buck, this man was 100% in some people's rogues galleries. Now, I do want to make it known, I am not friends with this guy anymore. Not necessarily because of something he did to me, but there was something he did that really just gave me second thoughts on whether or not I wanted to be around him. So one day we're walking out of class and a fight broke out, and it's just two random people we don't know. It's a passing spectacle in between classes. So we're standing there watching, and I noticed my friend started getting really mad. So I assume he might know one of them, so I ask. I say, "Hey man, what's going on? Do you know either of them?" And he said, "No. I just wish that was me out there." I pause, because honestly, out of all the dialogue options, that's the one that was the least expected. I ask him to clarify what he means, and he just says, "Man, I want to fight so bad." And I'm staring at him, and I'm low-key laughing at him, because what he said sounds like all the cornball, fake tough, I see red type statements that everyone tries to make. And to be honest, I thought he was capping until he yells at the top of his volume, "Hey, we got next." Okay, now there's a number of issues with this. First and most important, I had an exam in my chemistry class the next period, and I knew I was gonna fail it, but I definitely didn't want to start a fight club to get out of it. The second issue was he used the word next, and next implies we wait for these two guys to finish. He didn't. Not even 2 minutes after making his, I don't even know what to call it, his declaration of war, he runs into the middle of their beef and gets jumped. I don't even know what else to label it as. He's getting worked, and he starts yelling at me to jump in. Little does he know, I'm already gone, bro. And to be honest, I don't know if I ever saw him again after that. But I learned something important that day, which is that some people really do just love to fight. I wasn't into anime at the time, but as I continued watching different animes, I would come across this character trope more and more. Completely different shows with completely different premises would always have one constant. The one guy who just wants the fade so very badly. And I think the first time I encountered this trope was probably Gaara. There is no other way to say it. This man is evil. I'll never forget when they introduced Gaara. Kankuro and Temari are busy being the other school on the field trip type characters when Kankuro gets pressed by Sasuke sitting in a tree. He even crushed a rock with his bare hand. For Kankuro, it's a generational aura loss. And then Gaara shows up, standing upside down on a tree branch, and to add insult to aura injury, Sasuke glazes him and says he's just as stealthy as Jonin like Kakashi. From the moment Gaara was introduced, we already knew he was gonna be a dog. I'll never forget the time I saw him fighting those hidden rain ninja during the Chunin exams, and Kankuro goes, "Hey, Gaara, we don't even know what kind of scroll they have. Shouldn't we check before we get into any fights?" And Gaara just said, "Nah." You cannot tell me he wasn't about it. Gaara went on to clip all three of them on some casual shit, and if we're being honest, Gaara doesn't even necessarily love to fight like some of the other people we're gonna talk about. He just refuses to ever duck a fade, and you know what? That's good enough for me. Gaara had so many smoke demon tendencies that he even pulled up on Sasuke and Kakashi mid-training, and he went, "Hey, what if I just did something crazy right now?" And how could we forget how he pulled up on Rock Lee in his hospital room? Not gonna lie, this was some hoe shit, because if we're being perfectly honest, Gaara got gifted that one against Lee because of the plot, and nobody can tell me otherwise. But the main point is, he pulls up to the hospital, and Naruto and Shikamaru catch him lacking, and now Gaara's ready to run it with them. This man just wants problems. And this is just Gaara when he first gets introduced, and I gotta specify, because these tendencies don't really go away until he gets this terrible ass haircut in Boruto. Gaara was such an important part of early Naruto, you know, before the author decided nobody else existed. But Gaara, from a narrative perspective, had a really interesting position in the story. He was a clear display of what Naruto could have become if he had that dog in him, and a father who tried to kill him 90 times. But hey, that's tough love, am I right, fellas? Naruto never ducked anybody the entire show, but he was never somebody that was actively searching for beef. He trained, he ate ramen, he shot airballs at Sakura, went back to this dingy ass apartment, rinse, repeat. Gaara didn't train. He was just like that. I don't even remember ever seeing him eat. He didn't sleep, because if he did, Shukaku would take over. All he did, every second of every day, was chase the fade. And honestly, he didn't have too much else going on. But where Gaara fought because he didn't know what else to do, the guy we're gonna talk about now fights because that's all he wants to do. Kenpachi Zaraki is by far the coldest man to ever walk the earth. This is a man that does not have a name. Kenpachi is a title given to the strongest Soul Reaper, and whoever receives the title of Kenpachi is someone who loves combat. But honestly, even this guy takes it too far. Kenpachi is the guy on this list because he is the only one who loves fighting so much that he actively weakens himself so he can enjoy the fight more. There are so many goofy and borderline idiotic things that this guy can do, all in the name of some beef. Most notably being the part about him wearing an eye patch that nerfs him so he can fight longer. And then there was also that one time he fought a guy whose power was literally to copy you to a T. Kenpachi beat him by imagining himself as stronger than he was at that current moment. This man is not normal. Kenpachi is the guy when I talk about characters who love to fight. That's literally his main thing. Characters like this usually serve a few purposes. They're almost always stronger than the main characters, so they get to act as like a gatekeeper to the main antagonists. They offer hype moments and aura. Gotta have that, gotta have aura. But they also serve as a kind of secondary protagonist where, yeah, the show doesn't focus on them nearly as much as the main guy, but just off of sheer power, they show them a lot. I think characters like Kenpachi and Gaara are needed in shows that have any amount of fights. Oftentimes these characters are displayed as meatheads who just want problems. But if we look at a show like Vinland Saga with someone like Thorkel is absolutely this Kenpachi type character. But there are moments in Vinland Saga where Thorkel displays very real depth, and we can see the way his mind works. The same goes for Kenpachi and Gaara. We're given windows into the way they operate because it would be horribly boring if all they had to offer was, I'm hella strong, I'm about to beat you up. Like, alright bro, there's nothing separating you from an alcoholic father right now. We're gonna need something more. So when we get characters like Gaara, Kenpachi, Thorkel, Conquest. Wait, how did I forget?
Stand ready for my arrival, worm.
This man literally pulled up on Mark and said, hey, fuck Viltrum, the Empire. I don't even like the other Viltrumites. I just want to fight. Conquest like Kenpachi really just does this for the love of the game. But what I really like about what the show did that wasn't present in the comics is that they gave Conquest more context into his state of mind. Particularly how he knows all the other Viltrumites are afraid of him and how that bothers him. That he's only seen as a natural disaster. He doesn't even have a name. He only has a title. But where Kenpachi takes pride in his title, Conquest doesn't necessarily find shame in it, but solitude. And that's what I want out of characters like this. Don't get me wrong, my homie who was trying to get a scholarship to Heaven's Arena was a cool dude to hang around, but that was the only part of his personality I knew. And in that same respect, it's hella cool to watch characters like Kenpachi and Thorkel when they first get introduced, cause they're just so tough, but after 20 episodes, it's just like, dude, you're 30, is this really the only thing that you do? That's why I was so happy they added more depth to Conquest in the show, because in the comics, he's just a dog. And it's cool to be a dog, and maybe I'm being fake deep or whatever, but I would personally like to have the characters in the shows I watch just have a little bit more parts to them. I have limited times in my days, and if I'm watching something, I'd like to get something out of it. If I just wanted to watch fights and nothing else, that's what Street Beefs is for. The importance of characters that love to fight is actually criminally understated in media. Like I said, I want to consume media with depth, but that doesn't mean that there shouldn't be a balance between parts of the media that turn my brain off and on. The presence of characters like Kenpachi, Gaara, and Conquest vastly improve the shows that they're attached to. Aside from them having very cool layers to them, they are just cool. Without characters that love to fight, we'd miss out on so many amazing moments. So I guess really the moral of the story here is that if you're my friend and you're getting jumped, I'm not helping.
I'm walking and park shit. Hear me on the radio, like I'm Alan Partridge. Always #1 in primary school, I was the fastest. Future looking bright, that's why I got on sunglasses. When I used to play football, I always used to pass it. Now I blast it. Don't know why you're talking, I remember you was last pick. Diamonds on